Hello everyone and welcome to another scintillating installment of AutomaTitan Abridged. 6 months to finish? Dude, with the length of time you spent doing the script, it took 6 months to start. No you fucking didn't. Yeah, and then you recycled that important things joke into this script like I wouldn't notice. No you didn't. It was literally a joke about playing with Transformers that you somehow turned into a sex joke. Stop using recycled punchlines from videos that never happened, you hack. Tell you what, instead of the same shit joke, let's tell the ladies and gentlemen how this recording session began, shall we? This session began with you frantically realising you needed to write that new intro with the shit Transformers joke because you originally stuck a line in about this video not taking 6 months to make just to have a pop at me, and then you dicked about for so long that it fucking did. Yeah, who won that one? It was me, wasn't it? Now, shut up so I can get on with the story. After setting myself on fire in the previous episode, I found myself in an airport in 1960, because apparently, time travel via self-immolation is a thing. Fuck off, I can see that lighter in your hand, and anyway, it's... What's that smell? Is that petrol? It is! That's pissing petrol, laddies! Did you threaten to set me on fire just so you could do a cheeseoid shout-out? Well, pack it in. I'm trying to do a serious video here. This game is fucking art, mate. You've never played it. How the bugger would you know? Ah, well, no you see, because this was before he bent over and shoved his head right up his own ring. Well, alright, but at least he hadn't started reading multiverse theory yet. Or decided that everyone in the entire multiverse was Booker DeWitt, including Lizzie the Loot Pixie. Another lie! What are you even talking about? Yeah, well, whatever. Would you kindly shut your hole now so we can start the video? I got that out of the way earlier, so play the tape, fat man. So, airport, 1960. After the ridiculously invasive cavity search from a TSA agent who almost certainly won't call me back, I boarded a plane to London. Why London, for fuck's sake? This was supposed to be a holiday. To be honest, the destination didn't particularly matter, seeing as how halfway through the flight, the plane decided it wanted to come out and sexually identify as a boat. It didn't go well. Dude! Moving on, it kinda reminded me of that one time I became a fish. I was a live and sexy fish. I was a live and sexy young fish, with a song in my heart and a jaunty spring in my... step? Fuck you, some fish can walk. Dude, this is the internet. Someone's cracking one out over a fish as we speak. It's a public service I perform, really. I did not, because all of a sudden, there was a lighthouse in the middle of the Atlantic because fuck it, why not? Oh, and I think it was haunted. Well, for starters, there were 700 see-through blokes all going, "No, I'm not gonna do it. So's my wife." Not to mention an entire breeding population of loot pixies. That wasn't the main reason though. The main reason was because the door closed itself behind me. And then, right, the ghost showed me some propaganda. You may joke, but there was no one else in there. The lighthouse was empty. Things can't just turn on by themselves. You can't explain that. Yeah, well, whatever, because then I found a bathysphere with a big lever, so I pulled it and set off on my adventure under the sea. Well, I say adventure, but it started out with a 3-hour lecture, and I'll be honest, I fell asleep for most of it, but I think the gist of it was, no gods, no kings, all men man!
No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No,
Dude, never mind the dread god, it's going to shatter poor Kent Hovin's worldview.
says the man in Moscow, it belongs to
After that, I think the rest of the 3 hours was a rant about sweaty ghosts.
Instead, I chose something different. I chose
Let's not go there.
I chose
After the sweaty propaganda, my giant wet ball popped into a weird tunnel. I swear I'm not. Anyway, there was a sign saying, "All good things of this earth flow into the city of Rapture," which sounds biblical to me, and you know how they feel about sweaty ghosts inserting balls into weird tunnels. I mean, as conceptions go, it was fucking immaculate, yes. Anyway, that was enough foreplay, for I had now entered Rapture. I'll be honest, and I preferred that over what I actually got. Seriously, the welcoming party involved me being a captive audience for a woman literally gutting a dude outside my bathysphere window. What? Yeah? I've not thought this through, have I? Of course, the end result would have ultimately been the same, because after she eviscerated Homeboy over there, she decided I'd be another ideal candidate for being gutted like a fish. Desist, fat man! And now I'm finishing it, so zip down face hole. No, of course, I wanted to stay in the sweaty ball, because this was clearly not a safe place, but then I felt a compulsion to grab a hold of the radio that was apparently just sitting there on my head and have an entirely one-sided conversation with a man called Atlas.
I don't know how you survived that plane.
I'm fairly sure that's racist.
I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive.
Well, anyway, the point is that I then felt another strange compulsion to leave my safe space, find higher ground, and become bait for a horde of ravenous smackheads intent on injecting themselves with literally anything they could find. Wait, really? Now be fair, not everything in Rapture wants to gut me like a sexy fish. Yeah, well, I trusted him not to get me killed. He told me everything was going to be fine and encouraged me to find a weapon. Why would he tell me to arm up if he didn't want me to survive? You're a deeply cynical fat man, aren't you? Fine. Anyway, it's a good thing he told me to find a weapon because some mad bastard decided to throw a burning sofa at me. Dave. What? That's not true. Oi, I use other names. Steve and Alan. Well, it doesn't matter because I killed him. Shut up or I'll blast you with a fistful of lightning. Bloody is. Courtesy of the Gatherer's Garden that was conveniently located just above the place where I killed Dave. It's not that kind of garden, dude. Rapture is all about the Adam, and you know you don't get that from poppies. Dude, why? Yeah? Well, it gave me lightning powers, so fuck you. Also made me fall off the balcony, but mainly the lightning powers. Dude, don't be so small-minded, it's 2021. You said we wouldn't talk about that again, you're a bad man! Now stop putting me off, I'm trying to tell a story here. Syringe full of the good stuff in the arm, lightning powers, fell off a balcony, then passed out for a bit, right? So there I was, insensible on the floor when some visitors turned up, namely 2 smackheads, a glowy-eyed sprogler and an absolute unit in a diving suit, who, for some odd reason, kept mooing all the time. No, you know full well that Cowman isn't real. You're a bad man. Anyway, things started looking up because after murdering the smackheads, Mr. P decided he'd let me live. Well, okay, he decided killing me wasn't worth the effort, since Rapture itself would do me in soon enough. But hey, never look a gift co in the glowy diving bell. For now though, I had become a discount Zeus. I had become a discount 4! Whatever. The point is, I became a walking plug socket who'd stun people with lacquer, then brain them with a wrench. I was all set to test out my new 1-2 combo of lightning in the PP and a wrench in the frontal lobe when I happened upon an actual wholesome interaction between a mother and her baby, or so I thought anyway, but since we're not allowed to have nice things, she had a gun in the pram and was right in the middle of a catastrophic breakdown. Well, a compelling notion crept over me then. I didn't have a gun, and that, right, was a gun. So if I battered her head in and took the gun, I would then have a gun. Bam, yoink, gun baby mine. So there we go, gun baby acquired, and that meant it was time to do a thing. It was time for me to play the saviour and go rescue Blarney's family from the evil clutches of Ayn Rand's illegitimate love child, Andrew Ryan. I mean, I'd literally just arrived in Rapture and was already set on leaving, but hey, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. What? Well, whatever. I'm sure that'll never become significant in any kind of plot-related way. And so, my epic journey to Neptune's bounty began to rescue Blarney's family and find the secret of the Krabby Patty. It's funny you should mention that, because as I was wandering along, I saw another glowy-eyed sproglet sucking the juice out of a corpse. Now, as we all know, a lone glowy-eyed sproglet is a prime target for any roaming smackheads, like the one that just snuck into the room with her, but fortunately for her, there was an absolute unit wandering about nearby, ready to shove a drill right through someone's thorax. This all raises an important question. Why can't I have a drill arm? I want a drill arm, goddammit! Also, this happened.
Security alert in progress.
And then this happened. And then Blarney opened up the door to medical, so I buggered off because that seemed like the sensible thing to do, and not because Blarney told me to. Yep, definitely not because of that. With that done, it was on to medical, where loads and loads of really interesting stuff happened. Yes, it did. I had lots of adventures on my quest to kill a surgeon named Steinman. Disagree. Fuck you, there's a lot more to it than that. Right, well, I had to get a key from the cold dead corpse of a surgeon called Steinman. Unfortunately, he hadn't got the memo and was still very much warm and living, so some prep work was needed in order to help him achieve the desired state of frigidity and deafitude. Well, first off, I had to go and find the plasmid equivalent of a flamethrower to give myself flammin' fingers. And then I wandered off and picked up a shotgun. And then I had to go and find the plasmid to give me telekinesis. And oh god, you're right, these are all fetch quests. I did do other things though. Like, I played catch with a grenade. No. Maybe. Look, even if it was, it paid off, because then I went and murdered Steinman. There was one other thing that happened in medical after I killed Steinman, and since it involved meeting Dr. Tenenbaum, who's going to be vital to the plot and who'd just shotgunned a splicer who'd somehow yeeted a Big Daddy through a wall, I feel like I should probably mention it. Okay. I meant Dr. Tenenbaum, who's going to be vital to the plot and who just shotgunned a splicer who'd somehow yeeted a Big Daddy through a wall.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
Fine. Now that's what I call a welcome. I mean, look at the quality of the workmanship.
He's the one who built this
What?
place
No, why would I lick it?
to the ground. Nobody knows exactly what happened.
I do not.
Maybe the power got to him.
Alright, but that was once. Once isn't enough to establish a pattern of behaviour.
Good man died.
That was a kiss, not a lick.
The Fontaine Fisheries. I'll meet you there.
Fuck you. Anyway, look, I am not letting anything that's been down here longer than I have near my mouth. That's different. I don't have to taste that. And I was buggered if I was going to eat anything down here, because look at it. Would you eat anything down here? No, no you would not. But all that was fine, because I had a plan. Go to Fontaine Fisheries, murder some smackheads, rescue Blarney's family, go back to the surface, bam, get myself a tasty burger. Thank you.
Days go by like wind.
Oi! There are no flaws in this plan. Fine. Whatever. Something will turn up. Oh, come on. That's not very likely. I will politely inform him that I'm in the middle of a thing, and that his thing can fuck off. It's not going to fail, so shut it. Although there was a minor speed bump in the road first, because on the way there, an absolute unit killed me to death. Still, I'd only just passed an evanescence chamber, so it was fine. Yep. I'm doing that joke. Why I called it an evanescence chamber? I'm glad you asked. Because it does this. I mean, I went back and killed him. Yeah. Anyway, with that being done, it was time to get into Fontaine Fisheries. Except, before he'd let me in, the man wanted me to do a thing for him. Fine, but it wasn't a fetch quest. He wanted me to go and find a magic camera that could analyse a subject's genetic makeup just by taking a picky of them, and then go take some magical genetically enhanced photos with it. Yes? Bastard! Told me it wasn't. What do you mean? Wait, are you saying... You're just jealous that I have a magic camera and you don't. Then why did he want the photos, eh? You can't answer that. Did Did you just horrify yourself too? Would you like to hear how I went back and murdered the dirty bastard doorman? Okay, well I got his photos and they let me in. But, in order to get in, I had to give up my weapons. And we both know that when someone makes you give up your weapons, there's going to be a sudden but inevitable betrayal within 12 seconds tops. He probably thought he was safe. He probably reckoned that if he took all my guns away, I wouldn't be able to shoot him. And he was right. But what he hadn't reckoned on was the fact that I'd been mainlining enough plasmids to make even a smackhead splicer go, blimey dude, maybe you should ease up a bit. Sort of. I used an exploding barrel at him and he fell over. So, dirty bastard doorman dead? Check. Bang bang babies recovered? Check. Shotgun upgraded to cause even more murder pain? Double fucking check. It was time to go save Blarney's family. In hindsight, I probably should have seen that coming. Oh well, on to Arcadia to formulate an epic plan for vengeance.
Air you breathe, sponged from my account.
There's a bit of murder, yeah. Well, granted, yes.
Remember that
You're in a very cynical mood today.
You get to the bathysphere in the rolling hills.
Dude, you've never even played Bioshock.
All debts will be paid in full.
Blimey, someone's in a bad mood. I mean, it is a good game. Actually, I'm doing it by my own free will, not because Blarney told me to. Dude, spoilers. Yeah, but you just ruined the subliminal subtitle running joke you were setting up. Christ, where is this coming from all of a sudden? I mean, sure, turnaround is fair play, but why are you losing your rag now? Yikes, dude. You're going too far now. I will have my fucking burger. Why are you suddenly... Ah. Oh, I get it now. You're pissy because you hate Arcadia. What do you mean? Trees produce oxygen for the smackheads of Rapture to breathe. It makes perfect sense. And? I don't... Would you like to have a lie down while I go through Arcadia? Has he gone? Excellent, he's gone. You see, it was no time to stroll on through Arcadia. The underwater forest which, no matter what subtitle guy says or how right or wrong he might be about what I'm about to say, provided Rapture with its oxygen. Good, he's definitely asleep. Unfortunately, Andrew Ryan wasn't. And even more unfortunately, he'd decided to change it to Arnold Rimmer from that one episode of Red Dwarf. You know, the one where he got the cybervirus and wore a gingham dress. And army boots. And Mr. Flibble. He decided to give me 10 minutes of WOO.
Without oxygen.
Except, his solution was for a bit more than 10 minutes. Because it killed all the trees in Arcadia. This was somewhat suboptimal. Or it would have been, if not for the fact that Rapture's foremost authority on botany lived nearby. Time to go and see the plant lady, so she can fix the dead trees. Are you subtitling in your sleep? Well, that's going to make this next bit interesting. Well, fetch quest time again. Time to go on an epic quest to fetch some plants. And done. I hate to admit it, but sometimes the guy's right. Bioshock really does have a lot of fetch quests. Still, Plant Lady was happy, and then she was dead, because Andrew J. Rimmer really didn't want his citizens to keep on breathing. Anyway, I wasn't worried because Plant Lady had spent her last few moments on Earth giving me the code to her safe, where I'd find the recipe for a magic formula that would resurrect the trees, a formula called the Lazarus Vector, because symbolism. To make it, I'd need distilled water, chlorophyll solution, and B enzyme, which meant it was time for another fetch quest. I did. I fetched the bees, and they only got set on fire once while I was doing it. Christ! I nearly lost my hand in the fat rolls. Anyway, you did the thing. We don't do the thing. You know better than to do the thing. Look, shut up. Bee juice. It was time to resurrect some trees alongside my trusty absolute unit. Or it would have been if it didn't prove to be absolutely useless. I may have died, which may have respawned me outside of Plant Lady's office, which may have locked Plant Lady's office, with the absolute unit locked inside. How was I supposed to know that my ineptitude would fuck me like that? Oi, I have never once fucked up in my life. I have merely caused events to precipitate out in an unorthodox way. Face tanking a problem always works. Eventually. Anyway, it was fine. Because the smackheads all decided to wander in one by one and form a nice orderly queue for my buckshot delivery service, so I gave them all extra buckshot as a thank you for their patience. Well yeah, but in a very professional, customer focused way. I got a lot of great customer feedback from that. Some of their neck stumps gurgled a bit, but it sounded happy. And hey, the Lazarus Vector was doing its thing, so the trees were happy too. Well, I presume they were happy. It's hard to tell with trees. They're not noted for their conversational skills when they're not voiced by John Rhys Davis, but they weren't dead, so I'm sure there were more joy feelings than there were bad vibes. With that level of customer satisfaction from both trees and smackheads, I can only conclude that I am some kind of retail-based Jesus. With that done, it was finally time to board the metro, go see Andy Roy and introduce the meat to the metal. I'm gonna twat him in the face with a spanner. That was the plan anyway, but I hadn't factored in what would happen if I happened to get kidnapped by a man who made you look, well, less of a sexual degenerate. He made me watch him kill a pianist and take a photo of the corpse. I think it was in league with the doorman from earlier. Not gonna lie, it is comforting to know that you'll never be that deviant.
It seems you've got the eye of the shutterbug.
Well, it depends on what you mean by murdered. Does it entail going and killing the disciples he wanted me to kill, then taking photos of the corpses for him before letting him live? Then no, I didn't murder him. Well, not yet anyway. I had plans for our sick little moo cow that would only come to fruition later on down the line. Upgrade station. Yeah, we can. Because if this place makes an angry pervert like you feel dirty, how the fuck do you think it made me feel? I mean, I still hadn't got that fucking burger yet, so... Right, annoying weirdly sexual padding out done. No more pissing about. It was time to damn well end this so I could get my sodding burger. Oh, Andy Rai, time for a murdering. No. Not quite. He locked me out of his office. Calm. He Titan-proofed it. Apparently. Because you'd put one on the fridge. Why would you possibly need privacy? You don't do anything that I need... Oh god.
A worm looks up and sees the face of God.
Oh Jesus, why?
Look around. It's a regular convention of worms in here. They all had mothers, fathers,
Fuck off out my recording room immediately.
fuck their wives.
Leave the room now.
You're an I haven't chosen the
Right.
spot for you.
Clean video. No more of his smutty... Well, they're not really double entendres, are they? What the hell do you even call it when someone comes out with a line like, the Dark Souls of Challenge Wanks, for fuck's sake? No one's asking you! Right, on with the plot. I just entered Hephaestus and found out that Andy Rai-Rai's back door was plugged up tight. Fortunately, old Andy liked to keep a gallery of corpses hanging about, and one of those held the key. An audio log telling me how to build something that would let me force his back door wide open. It was time to build a bomb. A big, powerful weapon to shove into the back door and force Andy Rai-Rai to open wide for me to go pounding on in. Oh Jesus God. Please no. I've internalized him. Why? Why is this a thing? Fuck off, fat man. This is why the universe hates you. This is why the universe keeps doing things like making Kevin Smith produce a fucking awful Netflix He-Man show to punish you.
I'd explain the science that renders what you're trying to do impossible.
Yeah, okay. It was a bit. Truce? Are you going to stop doing challenge wank jokes? Deal. So EMP bomb. And done. That was easy. I mean, sure, Andy Rai-Rai did say that this was going to lead to serious fuckery, but I reckon he was just trying to delay the inevitable. What? Is this going to be something else hideously inappropriate? No, that's a claim. Gonna back that one up, are you? Fine. Okay. Right, thing done. What are you on about? What do you mean? It's the most famous twist in video game history. Yes, it does. Look, Andy Rai-Rai did a final fuck you to the player character by using the magical trigger phrase. It was an act of will, him saying that he's a man, so he gets to choose death, while you're a slave who has to obey. I would have thought that that was obvious. There you go then. Go on then. I mean, he set off the self-destruct before I domed his head in, so he'd have died in that if I hadn't killed him and used his genetic key to stop the boom from happening. So, yeah. A man chooses, a slave obeys, yada yada yada. Yeah, that was the point. Yes. That's... Wait, what? Ah, well, maybe he was trying to delay the inevitable, or like, trying to stop me from sabotaging his plan to destroy Rapture. What do you... Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh dear. Go on.
Right. Fontaine has been using that trigger phrase to control you throughout the entire game, up to and including the plane crash at the start, because it was him who gave you the package with the trigger on it and a gun in it. Correct?
Dude, no one's supposed to know he's Fontaine yet.
Titan, everyone knows he's Fontaine.
Andy Rai might not know he's Fontaine.
That's completely irrelevant because he did know that Blarney Pisshead was opposed to him. And he also had control of the PA system throughout Rapture, correct?
Oh.
Yeah, why did he not think to say, oh, I don't know, would you kindly go and fuck Atlas up?
Yeah, but Atlas could have just used the trigger to make me stop fucking him up.
Would you kindly stick knitting needles through your eardrums, then go fuck Atlas up?
Oh.
Look, the point is that the entire narrative gets buggered by that twist. I swear to God it's as bad as the Holdo maneuver.
Did you just compare Bioshock to The Last Jedi?
Yes, I did. And I know full well people are now crowding into the comments to call me a wanker, but I'm not backing down. That fucking twist renders everything in the game up to that point completely stupid, because at any point, Andrew Ryan could have jumped on the mic and said, would you kindly drown yourself?
To be fair, Ryan didn't know who you were when you first arrived in Rapture. He thought you were some kind of government agent.
And did he figure it out before you got to his office?
Well, yeah.
Then it's still stupid. You have to ask yourself why Ryan didn't use the trigger against you after he figured it out, and the most logical answer is because he's thick as shit. Watershed moment in gaming, my arse.
And back to subtitle land you go. You can say whatever you want, you're not going to make me stop liking Bioshock. Oi, pack that in. You are not the long man, you are the fat man. Stay in your lane. Your really, really wide lane. Besides, we both know that you're only doing this to ruin my childhood. Aye, well anyway, shut that cake hole, because it's time for the big twist. You just want to suck the joy out of everything, don't you? Well, since the fat man's already ruined it, Blarney's Fontaine, and he tried to blow me up. The end. Except, it wasn't, because the glowy-eyed Sproglets came and spirited me away to safety.
Follow me.
No, I did that because it was the right thing to do. How could I know that? I've only been in Rapture for less than a day. Look, I did not just save them so they'd come and save me right now. Do you really think I'm that mercenary? Anyway, stop stalling the narrative for the love of God. We're 14 pages into this shit and I still haven't become an absolute unit. Fine. Fell down a pit, woke up in the good doctor's bed. Stop fucking tittering, you perverted man-child. The point is that she removed the would you kindly trigger so it can no longer be used to control me.
Now you know the truth. You are his tool, brought back to Rapture to save him.
You ruin everything you touch, don't you?
You have saved many of my...
You are why we can't have nice things. So, the control trigger was gone, but there was still stuff knocking around in my head that would let Fontaine fuck with me, and that needed to be rectified if I wanted to find him and repeatedly jab pointy things through his sternum, and thus, after getting a glowy-eyed Sproglet to open the door for me, the next quest began. It was off to Dr. Suchong's house. To find a fix for all the fuckery in my head. Medical grade pharmaceuticals. Woohoo! I'd need them too, because on the way there, Fontaine contacted me. Whatever, he tried to control me with the trigger, but I politely declined via the time-honoured tradition of telling him to go fuck himself. He did take kindly to this, and told every single organ in my body to start shutting down. It was about this point that I realised I was going to need more than a couple of junior Disparate to sort this one out. As luck would have it, Dr. Tanglebum was involved in the making of my poor, easily controlled brain, and so she knew how to fix me, and so an epic adventure began to find the means of my salvation. Dude! You're skipping like half the level. Fine, I was cured, so it was nearly time to go and punch Fanta's head in. We almost are. Remember the sex weirdo? He lives around here. It sounds weird when you say it like that. I mean, sure, but that was the real reason I was here. Upgrade station. Done. Time to get endgamer. So, you know how I said it was time to get endgamer? I may have been a bit premature. It wasn't my fault. I was chasing Fanta down, all ready to emancipate his head from his body, and the cowardly fecker went and hid behind a Titan-proof door. And before you tell me to go and get another EMP bomb, that won't work this time. Different kind of fictional sci-fi magic. This time, I needed the help of a glowy-eyed sproglet, so fuck me I guess, because the ones in this area were way more picky about who they'd associate with. Turns out, they weren't interested unless I was an absolute unit of an absolute unit. There was but one solution. I had to become a big daddy. Yes. Fuck you. I couldn't just look like one either. I had to become one. I had to look like them, sound like them, smell like them, probably even taste like them. So first step, collect the bits I need to make the suit, as well as an entire truckload of Big Daddy pheromones. Piss easy. There were chunks of machinery and diving suits knocking about all over the place. And you know full well I'm not going to tell you how I got the pheromones. What happens in Rapture, stays in Rapture. After that, there was one last thing I needed to do to become an absolute unit. It was time. After so many long years, it was time for me to finally accept my destiny, to become the hero that nobody wants, needs, or deserves. Silence, mortal, for I am Kaiman! Fear me, evildoers! Bow before my sonic moo attack! You can't even let me have this one thing, can you? God fucking damn it. Well, fuck you, because I've got a destiny to fulfill. Kaiman, protector of the glowy-eyed sproglets, is here. Kaiman, protector of the glowy-eyed sproglets, is not as good at this as everyone had hoped. Thank Christ I had an infinitely renewable source of glowy-eyed sproglets, so I'd never get this door open. Yeah, well, either way, the door was open and it was Fanta time! Not sponsored. I'm not entirely sure it was still Fanta at this point. How is he not dead? Oh yeah, surely that would lead to the most difficult part of my journey so far, fighting a man too wankered to feel pain. Good job I've got a lecky flamethrower. A flamethrower that shoots electricity. No, lecky flamethrower, Leckenwerfer. Since Arcadia when you were having a rage nap. Yeah? Well, whatever. You impressed at how much self-control I showed in not using it until now? Well, you know how sometimes you'll pick up a new shooter and it's a bag of arse until you upgrade it? Upgrade station in the Sex Weirdo's house. And so, finally, I had everything I needed. It was on like Chunky Kong. It was on like Dixie Kong. Fine, it was on like Kim Jong-un. Fuck off. It was time for an epic battle for the ages. Electrocution, stab, electrocution, stab, followed by electrocution, and perchance some more stabbing. To be fair, I said epic, not innovative. This went on for some time until Fanta decided that he'd had enough, so he triggered a cutscene where he got me down on the floor and was about to execute me till the glowy-eyed Sproglets rocked up to murder him.
I sent you topside.
Yes.
Showed you what you was capable of.
Yes, I was.
That life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and I tattooed inside.
He did do that, yeah.
Now, if you don't call that family, I know what it is. And now,
Where are you going with this? Oh. But it's thematic. You're saved by the little sisters you saved during the game. Anyway, who cares? They came in and stabbed the shit out of him, and then saved the day. Yes. Yes. Yes.
They offered you this city.
Yes. Well, thankfully, I can cut your rant off, because that's the end of the game. So you can't rant anymore, fat man. Ha! And that was the story of what I did on my holidays. All in all, I reckon it could have been worse. I managed to not destroy Rapture. I saved a ton of glowy-eyed Sproglets who now think I'm their dad. And unlike most Brits on holiday abroad, I managed to not get the clap off of a waiter. Oh, I don't know. It did turn me into a Poundland knockoff 4 and give me bee powers, so it wasn't all that bad. I didn't even get those, because for some baffling reason, Rapture didn't have a gift shop. No. Oh well, I'm home now, so I can show off my holiday snaps to literally everyone, whether they want to see them or not. What can I say? Chaos likes to follow me. Speaking of which, I'm kinda surprised the Dread God Mr. Stevens isn't here to watch the slideshow. And... and that's true, is it? So it's not because you still can't be asked to record his voice lines. And definitely not because you can't think of anything funny to write for the character you created. Okay then. Still, the main thing is, Rapture's over and done with, and I never have to go back to that shithole ever again unless we do Bioshock 2. Fuck you, we're not doing that unless you give me a 20 quid Pizza Hut voucher. Well, you already know your answer's yes. I'm not sure how I feel about being saved by toys meant for 7-year-olds. Why? What? A tasty burger, you say? Thanks, I'll have two. Oh, I think you know. Now who's a credulous cunt, smart ass? Fuck you, I win.